Welcome to 8RW. I'm Harold, and today I embark on a project engineered by Mr. Bozo, and it comes out about like you'd expect. I'll show you all the stuff I did, all the time I wasted, and the disaster that it turns out to be. So that's most I can tell you about the situation here. Hang on. But on a lighter note, brighter note, I got stickers from Mr. James Clow. At his channel is Clow42. He's an electronics genius, and he builds super interesting things. And you ought to go, if you're not already a subscriber, go over there and take a look, subscribe. Alright? So I just can't talk about this thing much more because it's a terrible disaster. So we'll have to just go ahead and get on into it. But I'd like to remind you that Sunday, which is near as I can tell tomorrow, is going to be another ARW discussion at 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So if you're not doing anything special, drop by and participate. You can make comments and whatever live right there. See you Sunday. Building the preliminary parts for the project. This is two of them right here. Of course there will be more than that. That was the first piece I did. Printed that up and then glued the magnets in. There will be another one like this. Well, not exactly like it, but similar. How's that? And then there will be a centerpiece. So we're a good ways away yet. Folks, it's nice and cool in here, and it's hot as the devil outside, and I'm glad. I know I've noticed a lot of the other creators have started adding air conditioning to their shops. Like, Mr. Rucker, he's got air conditioning. Stans and Kosty's adding air conditioning to his shop. A-Bomb, he put air conditioning in his shop. Quite a few guys. So you can see that not only does it keep your equipment from rusting up, it makes your life a lot better. Alright, anyway, according to the project we've got going here, I printed all these, 3D printed these from patterns I made in Tinkercad. Tinkercad is sort of the elementary school version of Fusion 360. So that makes it about my speed. This, for instance, when I went to design it in Tinkercad, I started off with it standing up like this. This round piece was centered over the middle, and I even had it over the middle there. And it was quite a job I started the round piece standing on the end over here, and it was kind of a job getting it up there. I discovered the way to do it though is you make a hole that's so long that the bottom of this piece is right even with the top, and then you can rotate it over. Kind of a Mickey Mouse way, but I did it. And then I sat and looked at it a little bit, and I thought, if I try to print this thing, I'm going to have all kinds of support for the stuff hanging over the edge. So I did what I should have been smart enough to do in the first place, printed it laying down. Laid everything down and put it like that. And no support, much easier. I know you didn't want to know that. But anyway, I've got all these magnets here, and I need holes for some bolts over here on this guy. I've got 8 magnets here, and the other wheel, whenever I get the magnets in the mail, is going to have 2 magnets on it. So that's 10 magnets, and the average of that is 5. So I need 5 bolts on this guy right here. So I'm going to go over there and lay out a 5-hole bolt pattern and drill some holes for some bolts. That ought to be fun. Alright, so I set it up in the vise and used some tape to hold it down to the wood. I'm hoping that'll be good enough. And then I'll just come over here and estimate where this hole is, and then we'll lay out a 5-hole bolt pattern that hopefully will avoid having too much down here toward the bottom. Alright, after comparing it with my Mitsubishi caliper there, I determined that I want an 1.75 inch radius, or what, 3.5 inch diameter circle. So let's get on with it here. Let's set ourselves to 0. Oh, wrong one. Stupid me. Alright, we're in the incremental mode, so I didn't mess up 0 anywhere else. Got to put on my cheaters. I can't see. Alright, bolt hole circle. And that's right, it's going to be an XY circle. The center position 0, 0. The diameter is 3.5 inches. 3.5. Alright. Starting angle, okay, 0 is probably just as good as any. And the ending angle, well, hang loose while I go do some math. May have to take my shoes off. Alright, according to redneck math, 288 should be my ending angle. I don't know if that's going to come out right or not. Number of holes, 5. Okay, hole number 1. Now, I'm not really going to drill these holes just right this second. I'm going to get a felt tip marker, and I'm going to put a little mark every place where this thing sits down. As you know, I'll just move this thing, whichever axis has a number, until it shows 0, and that'll be the first hole. So here we go. We'll move the x-axis over until it reads 0. Whoa, we passed it. All right, now I'm going to make a black mark over here to show where I'm at. Where is it? Can I find it even? Right that way. Well, it's all too tall, I guess, to, yeah, you can't see it, so heck with it. Alright, here we are. We'll make a black mark where the drill bit comes down, just to be sure that we're going to have things equal. I'm going to have to make a taller camera mount to go over here. One that's standing by itself. That'll be a project for the future. Alright, let's just drill the holes. There we are, 5 holes. Alright, now then, I'm going to put bolts through here, and I don't know much about what I'm doing, but what I know is the bolts are supposed to transfer magnetic flux through to the other side. So, that was a little tight. It's okay, we'll thread it in. Make sure I had just as much bulk sticking out on both sides. I put an extra nut on there. It's all same size at the end now. I don't know if that'll make any difference, and when I'm experimenting with it, I'll take off the extra nut and see if it makes any noticeable change. Alright, when I get through, this wheel will be hanging on a bearing like this, and I'll fasten them down to something, piece of wood, and they will approach each other. Not that close. Not that close, but nevertheless, that gives you an idea of how it's going to be. I've got to drill this a little bit to make it fit the bearings I have, but I thought I had made it the right size on Tinkercad, but apparently I converted from inches to millimeters wrong. Alright, so take a nap, and we'll wait for the postman to bring us the rest of it. Be a long nap probably. The magnets I'm waiting on have arrived and been processed at the North Houston mail facility 4 times this week. So they'll be nice and processed when they finally get to me. Well, I discovered that everything that I had made so far was just too thin and floppy, and they'd suck up against each other because the magnets are that strong. So I went back and I reprinted everything much thicker. You can see there's a big difference there. Magnet jumped out. I made these with 4 holes so I can change the gear ratio if I feel like it, you know. Might as well be able to play with it lots of different ways. And these little supports, they were too floppy too, so I made bigger, stronger ones. I made bigger and stronger of everything. And so during the day while that was printing out, and it took over, you know, from morning till midnight or past to do all the doing, I looked at a channel called Promo Ambitions. That's P-R-O-M-O Ambitions, and they have a tutorial on the Tinkercad, and I learned all manner of abilities that Tinkercad has. It's a great deal more useful than you would think, and I learned how to align things and how to slice things in half, and all manner of, you know, things that you need to do. So it was a good idea. Then while this stuff's printing, I went ahead and made a couple of other patterns for a future project. So of course I'm going to have to actually print it and see if they fit as good as I think they do. But anyway, off camera, you've already seen me assemble this stuff once. I'm going to glue magnets and all that sort of thing and get it ready to go with the stiffer printouts here. So take a short nap. And I guess it's fortunate I was redoing it, because I discovered something strange. These magnets don't always have the little hole on the same pole. There's you have to just run the magnet around and see if it's to push me or pull you. And I guess I'm lucky that I had problems with things being floppy, because that would surely have affected how it worked. Well, these pieces are more stable, more stiff than the first bunch I started with, but they're still not stiff enough to get really close into things. So I'm not getting really good transfer of the magnetism, but as you can see, it would work if I was a little stiffer here. So it gives me the problem. Where am I going to get something stiffer? I don't know. It was almost a good project. Almost. The closer I get these plates, the better they work. As you can see, now this should make several turns to one turn of this one, because it's the gear ratio. So I'm going to try a metal threaded rod, if I can find one. I'm going to look around in here. Well, I got a piece of threaded rod and put there with nuts on it, hoping that I would get it more rigid and it would work better, but it's not doing so. So I've spent a lot of time on this. I'm going to let it go for now. I'm going to give it up, and if I think of a way to make it work right, I'll come back later. All this stuff just too floppy, and it touches and all that, so just a fail. You can't win them all. You guys be sure to show up Sunday for the ARW discussion, 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Bye now.